Hi, I'm Shashank Bhargava, and you're listening to Three Things, the Indian Express news show. In this episode, we talk about a St Xavier's University professor being made to resign from her post because of an image she posted on Instagram. We also talk about the Uttarakhand government promoting a tourism circuit involving Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Man vs. Wild episode. But first, we talk about the Shrikant Tyagi controversy. Tyagi, who is a resident of a housing society in Noida, was caught last week verbally abusing and pushing a woman. The entire thing was caught on camera, and the video went viral on social media. And one of the reasons it got traction was because many alleged that Tyagi was a BJP leader. In this segment, Indian Express's Malavika Prasad joins us to talk about this controversy. Malvika, could you talk about how this entire incident started?
So on August 5th, which was last Friday, there was a video which was circulating on a social media website where a man was seen verbally abusing and arguing with a woman, and wherein he eventually pushed her in the video. And after inquiring with the police, we found that he is a resident of Grand Omax Society. So is the woman. The incident happened inside the society, and his name is Shrikant Tyagi.
तेरे पति को भी जानता हूँ बनिए को मैं समझी अगर लगाना पेड़ तो इलाज कर देना कहीं पर बुला के स्टाफ को आपको बिल्कुल मत लगाना I mean,
he used really filthy words and he was screaming and shouting. They were having an argument in it, so it happened within that, and then eventually we can see him pushing the woman.
And what exactly were they arguing about?
I think after the preliminary investigation, it was found that the issue was regarding the encroachment into the common area of the society, wherein a couple of years ago, Shrikant Tyagi had already planted around 7-8 ornamental palm trees right outside his flat, which is on the ground floor. And on that day, in fact, 24 hours ago, is what the residents told me, is that he had started planting hedges. And when one of the residents approached him and told him that, look, don't do this for the next 24 hours because, people are not happy with your behavior, he did actually stop. But then the next day, just soon as the 24 hours were over, he started planting them again. And then, the residents were already unhappy with his behavior and they were not, okay with the way he had encroached into the common area. That's what they claim. And so a lot of residents, especially the women were more in number, around maybe 100 of them. They kind of congregated outside his home and they tried to talk to him. And while they were talking this, it kind of blew up into something bigger and larger. They were telling him to remove the hedges.
Right, and this argument continues. This video of him abusing and pushing this woman goes viral, and then the Noida police gets involved, right?
Yes. So eventually, Noida police have stated today, there was a press conference organized by the police commissioner where they have said that Noida police took cognizance of the incident. Their social media monitoring cell flagged this video and they approached the woman. They entered the society and they took cognizance of this. However, by the time it happened, they registered an FIR against Tyagi under Section 354, which is outraging the modesty of a woman. But I believe Tyagi had already fled by that time. However, they did tell me that they had already instituted teams to search for him because of the seriousness of the issue. Especially they said that, you can see that he is pushing a woman. So yeah, that's what happened, yeah.
Okay, and the other thing that is happening during this time is that residents are claiming that Tyagi has some links to the BJP.
So yeah, a lot of residents did say that he was a BJP leader and that he would talk about it, he would sort of boast about it. And they also said that there was a logo of the UP government on one of his cars. That's what they said, that they saw it. They told me that they did not really know what he did, that he had some sort of business, but then that he claimed he's a BJP leader and that he is at a really high position. That's what they claimed.
And so then what is the immediate political reaction to this development?
Right. So on Saturday, when I visited Grand Omax, I had gone actually with the intention to meet the woman and speak to her and some of the residents. I found out that Dr. Mahesh Sharma, who is a member of parliament from Noida, he was going to visit the Grand Omax and meet with the residents as well as the affected woman. And I think he was also accompanied by the district president of Noida, Manoj Gupta, and some other members as well of BJP. And he very clearly said that Shrikant Tyagi is not part of the BJP and that someone like him who was abusing the woman, as was seen in the video, I mean, it's something that the BJP took very seriously, and that someone like him should be punished very, very strictly. He made that statement that he's not a part of the BJP. And he did give assurances to the residents, especially the women there, that, they have nothing to worry about, and that the topmost members in the party had taken cognizance of the event, and that he had been directed to come and speak to the residents and, assure them that some steps will be taken.
Yeah, and we also see other BJP leaders saying similar things, right? That Tyagi does not have any links to the party.
Yes, so Tyagi's Twitter bio reads that he's a part of the BJP Kisan Morcha. So on Friday itself, Raj Kumar Chahar, who is a national president of the BJP Kisan Morcha, he issued a video statement through his Twitter account wherein he did say that this fellow is not part of the BJP Kisan Morcha.
मैं आप सभी को अवगत कराना चाहता हूं कि श्रीकांत त्यागी नाम का व्यक्ति भारतीय जनता पार्टी किसान मोर्चा का राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी का मेंबर कभी न था न कभी है। उसका किसान मोर्चे से कोई वास्ता नहीं है। सरकार और कानून अपना काम करे, उसके खिलाफ उचित कानूनी कार्रवाई करे, ये हम चाहते हैं।
And I also spoke to Mukesh Maan, who is the vice president of the Kisan Morcha. He told me, and I have written about it, that Tyagi is not affiliated with the BJP Kisan Morcha.
Okay, so we see BJP leaders trying to distance themselves from Tyagi, saying that he's not linked to the party. But Indian Express actually got a hold of a letter that confirms Tyagi's affiliation with the party. Could you talk a bit about this letter?
Yes, so this letter was found out by my colleague Abhinav Rajput, and it's a letter of August 2018. It's an appointment letter issued to Shrikant Tyagi, where he is appointed as the national coordinator of the BJP Kisan Morcha Yuva Kisan Samiti. So apparently 20 certain letters were issued to several people. Yeah, so that's the letter that has come to light, which does show that he was in some sense affiliated to the BJP.
And are there other things that also establish Tyagi's link to the party?
It's not clear if he's linked to the BJP. Well, there was an information regarding gunners that were provided to Tyagi. Gunners are not just provided to anybody, right? And it alleged that, they were provided by Ghaziabad police. So the SSP of the Ghaziabad police did say that there was a threat perception regarding Tyagi, and as he was part of some administration. And these gunners were provided between October 2018 to February 2020. And also the Noida Police Commissioner today in the press conference confirmed that yes, it did happen. It was provided by the Ghaziabad police, and there is already a high-level inquiry that is underway looking into this matter.
Okay, so you have evidence that Tyagi is affiliated with the BJP, even though the party is claiming otherwise. And meanwhile, he's on the run, the residents are angry, and the police, of course, have booked him. But besides this, there is also action taken by the Noida Authority. Could you talk about what they did?
So yeah, Noida Authority on Monday carried out a demolition drive at a portion of Tyagi's residence, which is the extended balcony area in his flat, which was allegedly encroaching into a common area. And there were 2 JCBs, 2 bulldozers that were there, and there were several workers who were there with hammers and spades that sort of hacked away at that front portion, and also like a back area, which is also alleged to be an extended area, encroaching into the common area of the society. And this demolition went on for a couple of hours between 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
And what was the reaction of the residents of this society to this demolition?
The residents distributed sweets. They were really happy. They said that we are not celebrating what's happening. Like, it's not like we are happy that, okay, it's being demolished. It's just that it's kind of coming out in this way. That something that they had been dealing with for a while. And yeah, they were very happy and they were applauding. They did. There were so many of them gathered around the demolition site that day.
And Malvika, you have also written that this is not the first time that residents of the society have had a problem with Tyagi. And even in the past, there have been a number of incidents that have bothered them.
Yes, on that day itself, there was a press conference organized by the women of the society. They addressed the media, and I found out they were very happy with the demolition that had taken place, but they were very vehemently saying that the fight is not won, and the women are at the forefront of this, and they will ensure that Tyagi is brought to justice. And one of the women did tell me that while she was a member of the previous RWA, there were several complaints against Tyagi that he would roam around with his bodyguards in the swimming area, and women residents were very uncomfortable with it. And when she told him that, look, this is an issue, please don't do that, he called her up and he behaved very badly with her. It shook her, she said. And so that's one of the several complaints that the residents claim that the residents have alleged against Tyagi in terms of his behavior and his, temperament.
Right, and Indian Express also found out that Tyagi has had a total of 9 cases registered against him in the past. According to the UP police, he has been booked for allegedly causing hurt, criminal intimidation, and even attempted murder. And Malvika, we are recording this late on Tuesday night. What is the latest update on him?
Tyagi's been arrested today morning. And he was arrested from Meerut. According to the police commissioner, Alok Singh, there were around 12 police teams that were looking for Tyagi's whereabouts. They used human intelligence, they used technical intelligence, and Tyagi was traced in 2 states, in Uttar Pradesh, in several cities in Uttar Pradesh and in Uttarakhand. There were rumors that, he was also somewhere around Rishikesh. He was spotted there, which was also confirmed today. And after 4 days, the incident happened on 5th, continuously chasing him. Tyagi was finally arrested from Meerut.
And next we talk about the St Xavier's University, which is one of the most reputed institutions in Calcutta. The university right now finds itself in a controversy involving one of its professors, who was allegedly forced to resign because of a photo she had posted on Instagram. The professor has now decided to file a case against the university in the Calcutta High Court. In this segment, Indian Express's Santanu Chowdhury tells us how the matter first came to light.
The matter first came to light after one of the parents of an undergraduate student at the university lodged a complaint with the university officials that his son was going through the photographs of this concerned professor, which according to him was objectionable and bordering on nudity. So that parent had registered their complaint with the university, and based on that, the university officials held a meeting on October 7th last year where the concerned professor was asked to attend. Now, in that meeting, the concerned professor was shown her pictures which were shared in the social media, and she was asked whether she had posted them or whether she approves of posting such photographs of her, and whether her parents were comfortable in her sharing such photographs. And according to the professor, she has alleged that it was more like a kangaroo court where several other teachers who were present at the meeting passed judgment against her. She was shirt-slammed and she was also put through a very harrowing time. And she also said that the entire episode had taken a mental toll on her, and the questions against her character were raised. And that was the meeting which had taken place on October 7th last year.
Okay, so that was more than 10 months ago. And Shantanu, you write that after that, the university gave her some time to think about the matter and whether she was willing to tender her resignation, because they said this entire thing was against the ideals of the university. So what happens after that?
So after that time, that Durga Puja vacation was there, and after that the concerned professor contracted COVID-19, so she could not go to the university. On October 24th last year, she lodged a complaint with the Purbajada police station, saying that someone must have hacked into her account or taken a screenshot and shared some of the photographs which she had shared on her personal Instagram account. And on October 25th, she had tendered her resignation from the post of an assistant professor in the Department of English. According to her, she has alleged that the photographs which she had shared in the month of June, and those were not in a post, those were Instagram stories. And as everyone knows that the stories stays there for 24 hours, and she had a very protected group, and she was shared with a very protected group. So there was no way future student of her department could access those photographs. And what about the charges that were leveled against her? So she has alleged that someone must have taken those screenshot of those photographs, and she has admitted that she had shared 2 of the photographs in a bikini which were shared in the story. And she alleged that someone must have taken screenshot of those photographs and shared it with the students, because she had joined the university on August 9th, and the story she had shared on Instagram account was in June. So she has contested that how come the future student of her department can access the stories which she had shared months before joining the university. So this is the contention that she is saying. And she has also registered that police complaint with the Purbo Jadavpur police station. But after there was no headway into the investigation, as that the police were reluctant to register an FIR at first. And later in the month of February, that case got transferred into a Technocity police station, where an FIR has been registered against unknown person.
Okay, and when you spoke to her, she told you how this entire incident has left her traumatized. So what action does she want authorities to take against the university?
In the month of March, she has sent a legal notice to the university asking for the details of the entire proceedings that had happened on the meeting, asking about the details on who were present at the meeting and how this entire episode had unfolded following a complaint lodged by the parents of the student, asking for the details of what had transpired in the meeting, how this decision was taken, whether the governing body was put into confidence, asking her to tender her resignation. So she had asked all those details, and in response, the university through an advocate had sent her a notice saying that, she should apologize for writing a complaint to the governing body. She should apologize for blowing the entire thing out, and she must, take back those legal course. Otherwise, the university will go ahead with a defamation suit against her with a price tag of 99 crore. So after that, she was, kept quiet. And now she has, said that we had a talk with a lawyer of the concerned professor. She said that, they will move a writ petition against the university authorities at Calcutta High Court. And they will probably file it by next week. They will file a writ petition because, they will charge the university saying that, she was forced to resign. She was, slut shamed, and arguments were not taken into consideration. And there must be some kind of foul play to put her in a spot. So these are some of the charges that they were going to put against the university authorities.
And Shantanu, this case has generated a lot of debate and outrage. Could you talk about what people have been saying about this entire matter?
So there's a widespread condemnation that is going on in social media because several former students of the St Xavier's University or St Xavier's College are sharing several posts, condemning the attitude of the university, condemning the attitude of the parent of the student who had lodged the complaint with the university, and saying that what a teacher does in her private life does not affect her professional career. So she is saying that, if she is sharing pictures, whatever it may be, in her personal private account, then how come this is in any dispute with the university or the way she teaches in the campus? So there is a widespread condemnation going on against the university officials. There several people are sharing posts. Several people have, extended their support to the concerned professor and saying that they are with her in the fight against the university officials. That has been the reaction so far, but the university officials are not saying anything. They have kept mum. There has been no official response from the university officials, be it from the Vice Chancellor Felix Raj or from the Registrar Ashish Mitra. So that is the situation right now.
And in the end, we talk about the state of Uttarakhand. Now, as many of you would remember, back in 2019, the survival reality show Man vs. Wild with Bear Grylls had produced a special episode featuring Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is joining me in the Himalayan foothills of northern India.
Prime Minister Modi might be leader of the biggest democracy in the world, but out here, it's the wild that's in charge.
The episode was shot inside the Jim Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand. And in the episode, Modi and Grylls had participated in a series of adventures.
Prime Minister, as you know, it's a wildlife conservation area, a national park. It is also a dangerous place. There is a lot of wildlife here for real. Normally when people come through the park, they never get out of their vehicles for this reason.
लेकिन मैं मानता हूं कि हमने इसे डेंजर नहीं मानना चाहिए. अगर हम प्रकृति से संघर्ष करते हैं तो हर कुछ डेंजर होता है. इंसान भी डेंजर बन जाता है.
Now, based on this episode that aired more than 3 years ago, the Uttarakhand government is planning to promote a tourism circuit. And in this case, a Modi circuit. The idea is that people will be able to visit the same trail that PM Modi walked on in this episode. And to talk about these plans, Indian Express's Avaneesh Mishra joins us. Avaneesh, Uttarakhand is known to promote a lot of religious circuits as part of its tourism. Places where, according to mythology, gods either visited or were born in. But now the state is also planning a Modi circuit. Could you talk about what this will involve?
Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, there are a lot of religious circuits which are being promoted in the state. There is a circuit for Ma Bhagwati, there is the Shiva circuit, Vishnu circuit, Navgrah, Golju Maharaj. Because basically we all know that Uttarakhand is known for its religious tourism. The famous Char Dham is over here. So I was talking to the officials in the tourism department and they told me that there is this new idea they are working on. Because we all might remember there was photographs of Prime Minister Narendra Modi doing sadhana in a cave. Those photos went viral and people started booking those caves for meditation and all that. So inspired by that, they are planning to build what they are going to call the Modi circuit. And under that, they will take tourists to the spots which were covered by the Prime Minister during his Man vs. Wild episode with Bear Grylls. They are planning to take visitors to all those places. They are planning to kind of replicate the same experience which the Prime Minister had. They're also planning to involve similar activities which were completed by the Prime Minister while shooting for the episode.
And do we know what all this would involve? What are the things that people will be able to do?
Actually, the authorities are still trying to figure out what they can include. But like if talking about the particular episode, Bear Grylls kind of met Prime Minister at a rendezvous point, and from there they were walking inside the Jim Corbett National Park. During the episode, the Prime Minister made fashioned and improvised a spear from a stick using knives and ropes. He also crossed the river using a makeshift raft. So probably the similar experience will be tried to replicate areas in and around the Jim Corbett National Park and nearby river. Probably these will be the places which will be covered during the trail.
And Avaneesh, do we know how the authorities came up with this idea?
So when I was talking to the Uttarakhand Minister of Tourism, Satpal Maharaj, he told me that the entire idea came to his mind when during his visit to Croatia, where there is a very good tourist destination of places where the famous TV show Game of Thrones was shot. So in Croatia, they take the tourists to those particular buildings, those particular monuments where the episodes were shot. And from there, he kind of got an idea that why don't we promote something like a Modi trail? Also, as I told you, that the inspiration was also taken from that incident where Prime Minister was photographed while doing sadhana in a cave, and that was a massive hit. At the same time, the opposition is kind of making this allegation that the state leaders are just trying to make the Prime Minister happy. So I don't know what is the actual reason behind this, but what they are trying to do is attract tourists from the neighboring states like Haryana, Punjab, Delhi, who come over weekends, because this trail is not very long. It's not going to take a lot of time for the tourists to cover that. So those are the people which the state government is targeting on.
You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was written and produced by me, Shashank Bhargava, and was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it, share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can tweet us at Express Podcasts and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.